Hi, I'm Tony Robbins.
I'd like to welcome Tony Robbins.
And I worked so hard for this, and I've given all to this. Yes. And 5 limiting beliefs in your life, whatever they are, and destroy them and replace them with the beliefs that will guide you to get, to achieve, to feel, to enjoy whatever you wanted to feel more than ever before.
Totally strong, even stronger than before.
Take a huge deep breath in.
Anthony Robbins has taught 10,000 people this past year and a half to cross beds of hot coals in their bare feet.
Everything we do is a pattern.
Tony Robbins, a man who redefined the potential of the human spirit.
Feeding over 1 billion people while teaching the world how to master their own mind.
And every emotion you feel is controlled by patterns inside.
I've been doing this now with 500,000 people for a little more than a decade. And what I did is I helped people to create their miracle, which is to create this change in meaning in some area, change their conditioning, change their pattern. You're going to take control of the force that shapes how you think and how you feel and how you act every moment that you're alive. And that force is the force that shapes the meaning of your life. Your beliefs, your values, and your rules.
5 minutes.
I teach them NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, linguistics being language. NLP stands for the study or the science of the effect of language on your nervous system. Your ability to do anything is your ability to manipulate your own nervous system. So I taught them how, in the seminar, through a whole series of ways, how to change their neurological processes in their body so that they could take action instead of being immobilized by fear.
Make decisions, elicit strategies, and focus your communication rather than control.
Education. We all know that it shapes the quality of our lives, not just today, but the future that we're going to have as well. The challenge is trying to study from a book, sitting down in a library, trying to get ourselves to produce a result, sometimes really tough. And yet we all know that what the knowledge we've developed, or the knowledge that we've learned throughout our lives, and the knowledge we failed to learn, shapes not only what we get to do for a living, but what we're able to provide for our families, how much joy we have, and ultimately who we become as people.
Specific category, meaning, if you were to hear this word, what does that tell you about the way this person is processing their world at that moment? Okay, so let's start with a visual. Look, look, picture.
You have control over your life. And that is where the power is. And when you control the meaning, you are communicating to yourself in a way that works. I'll give you an example. I had a friend that was shot down in Vietnam many, many years ago and was locked up in solitary confinement for 7 years plus in Hanoi. And he was locked up in a little room that was not much wider than my body, about 6 feet long, chained to the floor, concrete floor. My friend came out more powerful than almost any human being I know. He's one of the happiest, most well-adjusted, most incredible people on earth. His name is Jerry Coffey. In fact, he wrote a book a couple of years ago. And Jerry Coffey, Colonel Coffey, he said, I thought to myself, I might be here a while. And he said, I realized that this was going to be a real mental war more than anything else. And that this was going to be the ultimate challenge to my whole life. And either I was going to allow myself to be taken, or I was going to make this the most powerful experience I've ever had. He said, so what I did was every day I focused on controlling my mind and what things meant to me. He said, what I did is I got really close to God because there's nobody else to talk to. He said, I did 250 push-ups and 250 sit-ups with almost no food every day. He said, because what I did was, by doing that, it gave me this sense of will and power.
How do you manage frustration? Those of you who've been around me already know. Give it a new definition. For the rest of the weekend, realize that when you're frustrated, that's much better than disappointed. Disappointed means you think it's over and there's nothing you can do about it. It's over. That's why you're disappointed. Frustrated means you think it could be better and it's not, and that pisses you off, to use a California technical term, right? Right? So what that means is you know it can be better and it's still there, and you're upset because you know it could be better, and that means it still can change. Frustration means you're about to have a breakthrough. Because it's like water. If it's going to transform to steam, it's got to boil. And that's not true for everyone. Not all of you need a metaphor of boiling. Some of you you'll just say, hey, this is it, and you'll make the change. Others of you want more drama in your life, so you'll have to boil. And if you start to get hot, things start to crank and then you pull back and don't boil over, like you step off the fire, you don't want to be in that place anymore, you'll cheat yourself with the transformation. So you got to stay with it. When you start to feel frustrated, like, I don't care what my values are, you got to say, yes, I do. I'm about to have a breakthrough. Where is it? And get really excited about it. All those who want to operate from that belief, at least for the next 3.5 days, say, I. Second one that most of you are familiar with who've been around me is you must be able to manage this concept called confusion. Because confusion is one of the most valuable emotional states a human being can have, and it's the one that most people avoid at all costs. Because if we're confused, that means we don't know what's going on. If we don't know what's going on, we might get hurt. We might have pain. We might not look smart. We might not have the answer. Especially for a room full of achievers like you, have to always have the answer. Because if you don't, you all know you're not going to have pain. You lose your identity. So what I want you to know is the only way we're ever going to expand is if our brain is willing to go into some new patterns. And when you're confused, your brain is saying, I don't know what to do, which is great, and it starts searching every quadrant. You ever seen somebody totally confused? They kind of look like they're on drugs. Have you ever had somebody say something to you and it made no sense to you whatsoever, and you went into this deep trance where you began to search every quadrant of your brain looking for the answer? How many of you have ever been in this state? Okay? When you're doing that, you are literally at that moment creating new connections in your brain, new neurological connections. And those neurological connections are creating a way for your brain to function differently. Because instead of me entertaining you and like directing your mind every moment and making you laugh and go, you're gonna think. You're gonna ask some questions you may not have asked for a long time. And you're gonna dig in, and that's hard work, so most people never do it. But I can tell you the rewards that will come out of that effort are far beyond anything you've ever done before. Because you're gonna get a sense of clarity that will absolutely give you a balance in your life like you probably not had in a long time, even those who think you're already balanced, even those who are already successful. The truth is you all came here for one reason, because you believe your life can be even better, as great as it already is. And some of you think your life is terrible, and you're gonna find out it's not so terrible. In fact, you're gonna find out it's pretty great, and you're gonna find out immediately how to change it, because the exciting thing is, change happens in a moment. Not a 3-day seminar, not a 10-year period of time. It happens a moment. The moment you make a real decision to change what things mean to you.
Beliefs are the controlling force in human experience. Whatever you believe, it says, so is it done unto you. Because whatever you believe, you're going to experience whether it's true or not. Because what a belief is, ladies and gentlemen, is a feeling, that's all it is, of absolute certainty about what something means. So if you were to say to me, Tony, I believe I'm intelligent. I believe I'm intelligent. What is that person really saying? I feel certain that I'm intelligent. Just remember, we think of a belief as a thing, when all a belief really is a feeling of certainty about the meaning of something. Now, it's really important to know this because many people say, I can't change my beliefs. How many of you in this room can change how you feel in an instant? Say, I. A belief is nothing but a feeling of certainty about what something means. When you change that feeling of certainty, you'll change the belief. The only reason you don't is because you've been conditioned by society, and because many of you have done this, you say, I believe, or my beliefs are. And the minute you do that, it becomes part of your, who knows what, what's the word? Identity. You've made some pattern, it's just a pattern, you've made that pattern your identity. And the strongest force in the human personality is for you to stay consistent with how you define yourself. Change is never a matter of ability. It's not can people change. Can people change, yes or no? Can this man be happy consistently if he chooses to, yes or no? Can he just change his physiology, change his focus, change his language, and have it every day if he chooses to, yes or no? Can this woman be happy instead of depressed on a regular basis, yes or no? It's not can you change, it's whether you really want to. I wish for you all fun, enjoyable, playful, outrageous, sexy, bizarre dreams that help you to integrate everything. Everything that has ever happened has happened for a reason and a purpose, and that it serves you, but it's our job to find how it serves us. Different focus creates a different life.
It's just like freaking you, man. Like,
it's us. Anybody can be in a good state when things are going your way. But if you can stay in a beautiful state when things don't go your way, then you're going to have a beautiful life.